Thursday night wraparound reaction because I just spent the last 2 hours recording previews for the weekend with Brian, Ralph, and Connor Hope, both wonderful gentlemen. But we did not set any time aside to talk about the results from tonight, kind of because there's not too many notable games, but also we just wanted to focus on previews. So let's just go around the horn. Riley, we'll throw it to you first since it is Riley Friday. What jumped out at you results-wise from Thursday night in college basketball?
Well, if there's any doubt left, FAU is back and got a resounding win over a Liberty team that, Tristan, maybe you would know. I feel like you're more well-versed in the mid-major world than I am. Where's Liberty on KenPom right now? Are they a top 50 team, top 60?
Oh, I don't know analytics, so I wouldn't know. I just know Conference USA.
I forgot they're in Conference USA this year. But, yeah, they silenced any doubts that they got it figured out, dropped 83 on them tonight. Vlad Golden, another big game in just 20 minutes, 18 points. Elijah Martin's back, had a nice little 20-point outing. Owls are good. I think I probably knocked them too much when they lost to Bryant, and they were one of the biggest winners from Feast Week, and it's good to see them continue the momentum, even though admittedly in Boca Raton in their own building. But yeah, good way for them to kick off the field of 68 tip-off.
Elijah Martin's so good. Like, I was skeptical of it because I think I thought he was healthy when he was clearly injured at the beginning of the year. And now it's like he has all this added burst and he's just flying around. And at one point, John L. Davis threw him an oop that was not open at all, but he just like rose up and he tried to one hand cock it back. It was like almost Oladipo-esque against Michigan. It just back rammed it, didn't go in. But they're good, man. I keep trying to do the mental test of like, drop this team in the Big East. Are we picking them like on the same tier of like UConn and Marquette? Are we putting them in like the Villanova category? Like, Tristan, where would you think in that hypothetical they land?
Thankfully, that Bryant loss prevents us from immediately putting them into that tier. But I mean, what else do they have to do? Like they had the Final Four run. They looked really good last week. Beat everyone possible. Like, and the problem is when they play Illinois next week, if Coleman Hawkins doesn't play, they're just going to be asterisks next to that game. So they could literally go through the rest of the non-conference, and then outside of Arizona, which might be the one test, but then it won't be fair because they could lose to them and still be a top 10 caliber team. People are still going to doubt them no matter what. They still didn't have Nick Boyd in this game. They're still not 100%, but what else do you want them to do? I would put them as a top 10 caliber team. They were there in the preseason. And outside of that Bryant game, which I'm just going to sweep away, it's just they were looking ahead to Feast Week and just got caught sleeping. That, they're legitimately good. And again, so many teams are inconsistent. This team so far has proven that they can be consistent outside of that. Just one little slip up, but still it was a big slip up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Riley.
To their credit, I just pulled up the KenPom page. They've already moved up from 49th after the Bryant loss to 17th after tonight. And Liberty is 51 for those curious. So
crazy.
Good team.
Yeah, very good team. Also, you know how like some people say like a hot shooting night for some like, oh, an out-of-body experience. That's not going to happen again. I view the opposite of that as what happened against Bryant. I think this team is like an extremely good offensive team that has shooters everywhere. And they had an out-of-body poor shooting experience where they shot 5 for 30. That's never going to happen again this season, no matter who they play. Also, last thing on Florida Atlantic, then we'll wrap around to other stuff. But Tristan, I'm about to go double falsetto on you today. I really am about to just falsetto you twice in one day. Every time I see Vlad Golden do something cool, I really want someone to make an edit with like a slow motion video of him dunking or something. And that one song, it's like, the golden now in the background. I think it would be perfect. So somebody steal that from me and do that, please. What else did we see tonight, boys? I thought the best game was Butler, Texas Tech. Overtime game there. Texas Tech kind of just wrestled it away from Butler. That's what it felt like. Butler was in control all the first half. 10-point lead. Turned to Texas Tech's up 3 with a minute left. And then just some big shots from Butler sends it to overtime where they ultimately just kind of like clawed it away. Tristan, what did you see in that game?
Yeah, I saw a Butler team that I'm in on. I mean, Texas Tech gave arguably their best offensive caliber performance. I mean, Chance McMillan making 8 threes off the bench. They shot, what, 52% from the field. They're supposed to be a defensive team. Like, to win that game, to win in overtime, to get the production they've gotten. I mean, Pierre Brooks wasn't even their top scorer. They had Telford and DJ Davis leaked away for them. Like, they clearly have talent. They have the guards. They can defend at times. I don't think they're as good a defense as we thought were, but they're much better offensively than they were in the preseason. I just don't see a reason why not to like him. And again, Thad Matta is a good coach. This isn't a complete shock that Thad Matta can coach a team to be tournament caliber and beat other teams that are probably either on the bubble range or around him. Like he's winning these coaching battles, and I'm not going to be surprised if he gets a few Big East play.
You buy that, Riley? Like, are we buying stock in Butler as a noteworthy team in any capacity, or no?
Not really. I still need to see it against some better teams. I'm not convinced that this Texas Tech team is anything special. I will say, like, I'm impressed that they have played as well offensively as they had their last 3 games since the Villanova loss. But to me, like, this Texas Tech team ultimately just feels like the kind of the stereotypical, like, middle of the pack Big 12 team that can defend but can't score, can't shoot. Like, don't trust any of their guards, don't trust any of their wings. So like I don't know. I'm glad Butler won it for our buddy Lucas Harkins. Like he needs some joy from Butler basketball, but it was in their own building. Seems like the atmosphere is pretty good. I don't know. Butler is going to be better than DePaul. They'll be better than Georgetown. They'll probably be better.
St. John's.
I think they'll be better than St. John's. They'll probably be better than Seton Hall. Yeah. So like an improvement after last year. Not there. Like, but I don't think they're. I'd be surprised if they got on the bubble.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Like it can be a jump while also still not being super nationally notable. I feel like that's what has happened thus far. And I want to believe in Butler, by the way. I just think Butler being good is always good for college basketball. It's fun when that program is good. Hinkle is awesome. If you haven't been there, that's probably my favorite home environment I've ever seen a game at. And I can't get over Pierre Brooks being this team's best player. I can't do it. Like he was so bad for Michigan State last year, and I know he got a lot better, but like goodness, man. And I thought he would struggle tonight. I thought Thad did the right thing and like didn't try to force it with him. They just kind of put him in the corner and let other guys that are more dynamic off the bounce make plays. And he hit some timely threes. It worked out. But don't forget, Thad Matta can coach. I'm still not all the way in on Butler, but I think Thad can coach, and I think he's a little re-energized by this group. I want to present you guys also quickly my favorite grouping of teams on KenPom in college basketball history. Okay, these teams are all in order, ranked 52nd to 58th on KenPom. I'm just going to read them in order. Texas Tech at 52. Butler at 53. Butler just beat Texas Tech tonight. Michigan at 54. Texas Tech smacked Michigan, who Butler beat tonight. Pittsburgh 55. That's your stinky team, Tristan. Rutgers 56. They stink. Northwestern 57. They stink. Maryland 58. They stink. That's my favorite pod in KenPom history, Tristan. Your thoughts?
That's a nice ass NIT bracket right there. I like it. I'll take that. Also, it just means that it doesn't matter how bad the Big Ten is. They're always going to have 8 teams in the top 50 for no reason. This is ridiculous. That's what I got out of that.
Go
ahead.
I still buy Michigan as a tournament team, so maybe that was too harsh of me to say that Butler won't even get on the bubble. Maybe I should at least give them a little bubble-licious talk.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to put Michigan on the bubble, put the whole damn tournament to everybody on the bubble. Put Princeton on a bubble. Put Chicago State on a bubble. Why is it all of a sudden all those teams suck when Michigan can be on the bubble? You know, Texas Tech smacked Michigan like 2 minutes ago, right?
I know, but I can't, like, I'm not buying into this iteration of Texas Tech. Like,
but you buy Michigan.
I buy Doug McDaniel, and I buy Olivier Nkamhoua.
5'4" Doug McDaniel and Olivier Nkamhoua, who averages 2 good games every 10. But you buy that. And with the assistant coach, now the coach, and the old coach is now the assistant coach, everyone getting ejected. No one plays defense. Can't give up 100 to Long Beach State. But, they're on the bubble. What bubble? But the same bubble in SpongeBob that got popped after 30 minutes, that bubble.
Who pissed in your Mountain Dew right now? Jesus, Tristan, it's not that big of a deal. Goodness.
It's very he all those teams he named, but Michigan was the one he got hopes on.
Yeah, that's because we have a dynamic dude at point guard. Nobody else does except for you, and your guy only shoots jump shots. Literally, 96% of his shots are jump shots.
And your guard gives up 96% from the field defensively.
That's not his fault. Okay.
Okay.
That's everybody else's fault.
Gotcha.
Is there? I'm trying to think if there's anything else notable tonight. Creighton kind of returned. That was cool. It was the tie game midway through the first, and then they just like did the old school Creighton thing where they made like 11 threes in 10 minutes, except they only made 10 the whole game, but you get the point. Stephen Ashworth arrived. That was the notable thing. He's been stinky for 2 weeks. He had 17 points tonight, 4 for 5 from 3. Just quick, like one sentence around the horn. Where's Creighton for you nationally? They were my preseason title pick. Riley, what's your answer?
I didn't drop them too far after losing to Colorado State. I kind of chalked that up as a one-off game where you just don't show up. Like I'm still a firm believer. We'll actually get into this for one of my topics that a month into the season, really like a fourth of the season down, kind of a decent sample size. But the teams that I was high on in the preseason, and I had Creighton solidly in the top 10, I don't just want to abandon after one bad loss because you lose games in college basketball. So I still think they're a top 15 team.
Yeah, I agree that they're top 10 caliber, but I'm going to be honest. You guys have lost 20% of my attention because Ulamar created a pet picks category in Discord, and everyone's showing their answers. So I'm listening, but just saw so many key points.
I love our Discord so much. Who knew we had a turtle guy in the Discord? That's incredible stuff. Okay. All right. Thank you for the wraparound, boys. That was great. We hand the show over to the one and only Riley Bluffs Davis. Bluffs, where we go next?